lightning conductor. Thank you, Ron. Am I on? Thank you. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the chapel, an afternoon of Bach with a few other composers added in for good measure. After the performance by this wonderful ensemble, it's the best in the village. You're all invited to enjoy some light refreshments, that's where the bubbles comes in, down in the Montgomery. With all that weather yesterday and certainly this morning, we decided to move down there, but you're all invited. There is more than enough bubbles for everyone, or orange juice if you choose, and that's where we'll be afterwards. Okay, so who was Johann Sebastian Bach? He was born in Ernestine Saxon Duchies, which is in Germany, on the 21st of March 1685. We couldn't get a more modern one in, it just doesn't go, does it? And he died on July the 28th of 1750 in Leipzig, aged 65. Johann Sebastian Bach is regarded as one of the greatest composers of all time. He's celebrated as the creator of many masterpieces of church and instrumental music. His compositions represent the best of the Baroque era. Johann Sebastian Bach composed over 1,000 pieces of music. Wow, 1,000. Some of his most famous work included the Brandenburg Concertos, the Well-Tempered Clavier, and the Mass in B minor. But we'll get back to Bach a little bit later. For now, please enjoy the ensemble's first two pieces they prepared for you. So, Arthur, can I get the screen on up here, please? Thank you. Okay, the William Tell Overture, composed in 1829. William Tell was a Swiss hero who possibly led a revolt against the Austrians in the 14th century. This is part of the last of the 39 operas that Rossini composed. This melody was used as a theme song for the... Yeah, because it's on the screen. It's on the screen. The Lone Ranger movies. Yes. This piece will be followed by Morning Mood by Grieg. This piece depicts the rising of the sun in the Moroccan desert. Written by Edvard Grieg, it's one of 4 pieces in the Peer Gynt suite. William Tell Overture. Well, what a wonderful way to start. How awesome was that? Awesome? Yes, very awesome. Okay, we need to do a couple of introductions. I guess to start with, for those of you I've not met, I'm Bob. I'm one of the residents here in the village, and it's certainly my honour and privilege to be with the ensemble today. So who are some of these wonderful people up here playing your, what sort of music? Awesome music. We have young Jan. Now, Jan comes from Cromer Uniting Church, where she and her husband Ron over here, they play the music for almost all of their chapel service or their church services over there, except when they're on holidays. You having holidays soon? We've forgotten what they are. Okay, so they're over there every Sunday. How's that? Over there every Sunday. Jan is also a music teacher, and I think that some of the parents, at least, of her students might be here today.
Yes.
So, at least two. There you are. So Ron and Jan, as part of this ensemble, also have performed here in our chapel and also down in the Montgomery Theatre for some of the combined events we have. So we're very pleased and honoured to have you join with us today. Rondeur by Abdelaziz by Purcell. Henry Purcell was an English composer of the Baroque style, generally regarded as one of the best English composers of opera. This piece of music was written by him in 1695 for a play called, does anyone know? I didn't. Robin had to tell me. It's called The Moor's Revenge, M-O-O-R-S, The Moor's Revenge. That will be followed by Finlandia by Sibelius. The tone poem Finlandia, written in 1899, was the piece that got Sibelius noticed. It was effectively a nationalistic call for Russia to keep its hands off Finland. Sibelius later reworked the central part of the piece into a Finlandia hymn. The work is today regarded as the country's unofficial national anthem. Thank you. So we've introduced a couple of people. Who are the others? Over on piano is young Anne. Age is relative. Young Anne. Anne plays piano for us for our chapel services, also assists the singing group which we have, which is the two microphones at the back. So if you're saying anything, it's going to be pick up and it's going out to YouTube. Hi, all those people who are watching on YouTube. Call me later if you hear any bad comments from the back. And if you want to watch this when you get home or during the week, this performance will also be on our YouTube channel, RSL Chapel live stream on YouTube. Costs you nothing. You can have twice the experience. So that's Anne. On cello, we have Robin. Robin, oh, sorry, my apologies if I go back to Anne, because there is more. Yes, there is. Trust me. No, Anne also plays the piano for the weekly chapel service up in Peter Cosgrove House, which is a very important part of the ministry here in the village. So, see, you thought I was going to pick on you, didn't you? Yeah. Not today. Sorry, so we come back to Robin, who is also young. Young Robin in the centre on her cello. Robin is the leader of our singing group here in the chapel. She got it going some years ago, and it has increased in number of people and in its wonderful performances as well for us. Robin, at times when Anne's not at the piano, will play the piano, and Robin also assists in our weekly chapel services up in Phyllis Stewart Hostel. And Robin has only taken up the cello again in the last couple of years, isn't it? Yeah, so awesome. Well done. A 60-year gap. Oh, so you started when you were really young. Jesu, joy of man's desiring. Here we are, Johann Sebastian Bach. We've finally come to our dear friend. Yes, this is one of the most popular choral compositions of Johann Sebastian Bach. It was crafted around 1714 to 1716, Bach's first year in Weimar, Germany. It's the 10th movement of Herz und Mund und Tat und Leben. Did I get? Oh, see, I've been practicing. But what does it mean? Heart and mouth and deed and life. It's his most famous cantata. However, the melody of this piece was actually composed by Johann Schkopp, while Johann Sebastian orchestrated and harmonised the melody here. Yes, Jesu, joy of man's desiring is also simply called joy. This is going to be followed by that stirring one, Land of Hope and Glory by Elgar? Land of Hope and Glory has traditionally been sung by the audience amidst flag waving at the climax of the last night of the BBC proms. Who knew? Robin did, she told me. The song is often used as a sporting anthem. It's sung by English fans at home England rugby union games in Twickenham after the home and away national anthems. It's also been adapted by football fans over the years for their own chants. Supporters of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, the team that Elgar supported, sing a version with the lyrics changed to "We will follow the Wanderers over land, sea and water." What great fans they are to go that far. Jesu, man, joy of man's desire. We'll just talk amongst ourselves. Who wanted to burst into song? Oh, next time. Oh, can't not sing it. Having heard it played in such a rousing rendition, how could we not sing it? Gosh. So, what do we have up there? To a Wild Rose. It's one of MacDowell's most well-known and loved pieces. It's part of the larger Woodland sketches, finished in 1896 for solo piano, although I think you'll all be playing it. The composer's love for roses was so great that he was buried under a boulder around which many rose plants grew. That's commitment. Okay, that's going to be followed by Canon in D by Pachelbel. Sometime around the end of the 17th century, the German composer Johann Pachelbel wrote a piece of music for 3 violins and accompaniment. The key of D major was chosen, and the work's harmony and structure were to be fairly simple. The man could never ever have imagined how hugely world famous his canon would become. The concept of a musical canon, it's straightforward. A single melody is heard initially and it's followed by a multiple repetition which includes some variations. However, the singular musical idea is always present and clearly heard, offering a sense of constancy and stability to a wild rose. Concertino by Haydn. The ensemble will be playing the second movement of this work, a minuet. This divertimento, did I get it right, Ron? Oh, what? I got it wrong yesterday and Ron had to correct me. As it's called, has three movements, as was composed in the year 1766, initially for the harpsichord, but Anne tells me they don't have that setting on that piano, so. It was first published in 1895. Fancy that, writing it in 1766, not even being published till 1895. A divertimento is a piece of generally light-hearted music, usually written for small ensembles. And this will be followed by the ensemble's last piece for you today. It'll be a Christmas Joy medley. It's arranged by Gary Lanier, an arrangement featuring three of our most well-known carols. I won't tell you what they are. You'll be able to work it out, won't you? Thank you. I'm thirsty. Well, gosh, that concludes our recital for this afternoon. We do hope you've enjoyed the program as presented. Would you join me again in thanking the Village Ensemble of Anne, of Ron, of Robin and Jan. So, friends, you've had the bark and a few others. What about the bubbles that we advertised? Yes, down in the Montgomery Theatre are your bubbles or orange juice as you choose. I think there are some sandwiches or something down there for you to nibble on as well, because you shouldn't drink and not eat. Be responsible. Be responsible. Now, you can get in the top door if you are happy with stairs. If you want to go the ramp, for those of you who aren't aware, just follow the bowling green around and you'll see the downward ramp and come in the main entrance of the Montgomery Theatre. Again, on behalf of our wonderful ensemble, thank you very much for coming, those of you here, and those of you sharing with us via YouTube. I don't know what you're going to have, but I know what we're going to have. Thank you again.